Hello YouTubers, how you doing? CJ here. I hope you're keeping well. Okay, so as I do with every video, I want to start this off by saying a mega thank you to all my new subscribers. Every few days I keep checking and the subscribers just seems to be going up and up. So honestly, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. And also thank you so much to everybody who's been with me right from the very start when I first started this channel. Okay, so let's get into this video. Now, this video is an Elvis video. There's been actually a few messages asking me, am I ever going to be showing anything of Elvis again? Because recently it's not been about Elvis. I've been showing other collections and so forth. Well, I guess it's because I have collected quite a bit of Elvis. I do have loads of Elvis videos to do, but I don't know, I've just been a bit distracted, I guess, lately. My life has been pretty hectic, I gotta be honest with you. However, I'm doing this video because two reasons. Number one, an experience that I just had. And number two, I get many emails and many questions on Facebook and even when I talk to people who have seen my videos, people who know me, they've asked me about, Elvis releases regarding, do I know if this has been released or that's been released? Do you know if this is being put out on CD or if this is being put out on DVD because it's only on video, etc., etc. So I got loads of information, and especially from the younger generation of fans, and I think that's another reason why this video is a little bit important to do. Okay, so recently I was looking on Facebook Marketplace back last week, and I saw a particular CD, and I was like, "Whoa, okay." Didn't know this been put out, so I contacted the seller. I'm not going to mention any sellers' names or anything like that, okay? But I know I'm okay to do this video, that's for sure. So anyway, I saw this particular CD, and I messaged the seller. The first thing was asking if he would post it, if I paid the postage, and he agreed, etc. I know I was excited about it, and I was telling my wife about it. The next thing that I'd known, then she comes to me and said, well, I found it on eBay, and I've just bought it for you. So I was like, really? So she showed me, and I was like, oh my God, I'm so excited. And the album, so I contacted the seller and I said, look, my wife's just found it on eBay and bought it for me. Really sorry, but thank you for answering the questions, etc. I'm completely fine about it. Anyway, the album was this album here. Now this is Elvis Presley #2, or Rock and Roll #2, if you wanna call it. This is Elvis's second album on the HMV label. Now, I was excited because, number one, it's a pretty cool cover, right? I love this picture of Elvis. It looks so cool. Chilled, relaxed, and so cool. Anyway, I thought, well, if #2 has been put out on CD, #1 also has to be out there on CD. Now, if you've seen my videos before, you know that I'll replicate anything that's not been put out on CD. And the reason why I never replicated this is because, this is my original 12-inch album, and I also have the limited edition 10-inch of the album. So, yeah, so I figured if that's been put out on CD, then the first album should be put out on CD. I thought, well, okay, I'll buy this now because at least I've got this album. I've got to look for #1. It's more relevant for number one to be put out on CD because it had a different track listing, which is why, getting back to the replicating, I never replicated this album. However, I thought, because I never replicated number two, because when this album got released in the US and then the UK, both track listings was the same. And I already have the original CD. That's the artwork that came out in America. Different artwork, but the track listing is the same. I've got the original CD of the second album, so I thought, I'm not going to replicate it. However, I did use the cover when I created this CD, recorded at the Youth Center, Louisiana Fairgrounds, Shreveport, December 15th, 1956. I just took off the number 2 and I added down here, because at the bottom of the original and the reissue, it had the text down at the bottom. Let's see how you can see that. So I took that off and I put live radio broadcast. So I thought, well, at least I've used the cover, So anyway, let's get back to the purchase. So I thought, well, it's not. I mean, I tried Googling it, and I thought, well, there's no record of it, so it must be an import CD. But I still couldn't get no record of an import. The only import I could find of the CD version was it came out in a digipack, and it came out in a case edition, but it was all bonus tracks. Now, I'm not a fan of bonus tracks. Those of you who've seen my videos before will know that I like things as they originally get put out. If they originally get put out with bonus tracks, then that's a different situation, because that's how it originally is. I know, I'm the fussiest person going, right? Because surely bonus tracks means more tracks. Anyway, but when I saw this CD, I thought, right, okay, it's got to be an import then. Now, we're going to explain to you what an import is. Now, you get things like FTD. Now, the FTD albums, even though you can't buy them in shops such as HMV and so forth, they are official CDs. You can buy them at shopelvis.com, which you can buy from the Graceland website. They sell them at the Graceland gift shop and everything. It's a collector's label, so they're all official. However, an import, it's not authorized, but it's factory pressed, manufactured in a factory. Okay, remember what I'm saying right now, because this is pretty relevant to this video, and is the reason why I'm doing this video. I'm going to show you one of my imports. Now, this is an import called Back with the Band. Okay, lovely cover. The colors are perfect. This is an unreleased concert from 1975. Now, let's take this out. It comes with a booklet where you can read all the font and the text very clearly. Okay, this actually was bought me as a gift. This one was off my brother Rossi. Gotta give him a mention. As you can see, lovely book with it. Some lovely photographs. Colors are fantastic. Professional quality as well. None of the homemade stuff or anything like that. So proper stuff. And the CDs are also manufactured in a factory. In other words, factory pressed. Although CDs are burned, not pressed. So, or are they pressed? I don't know. There's always been debate about that. Maybe pop down in the comments what you think. Are they burned or are they pressed? And I've never really bothered looking into it, so either way. So, what am I showing you that one? I'm supposed to be showing you the disc. So, this is the disc. Get nice and professional. Full on silver mirror back. Its own direct code as well. In the center, the own direct code. So proper manufactured, the imports are. And yeah, I know this one does not have a barcode. Not all CDs and barcodes. If you get, especially some of the earlier ones that came out in like the mid-80s and so forth when they were bringing them out, especially CDs in Japan, not every album on CD has a barcode. And I've got many by many artists that are official CDs. It's on a barcode. Anyway, that's here nor there. The spine, properly done as well. The title, the artist, the catalog number, even the company there. I don't know if you can see that. I am sorry about any reflections. It's just a reflection from the light and everything else. So I am sorry. So that's an import. This year is also an import. They bring them out. There's even digipacks and box sets. This is a worldwide Gold Award Hits Volumes 1 and 2. I'm just going to take the one out to show you. This is Volume 2 I've taken out. Oh, so it does also have things with it. So if it came with something when it was originally put out, they replicated them as well. So properly done. Yeah, this is the one with the swatch of Elvis's shirt. They've even gone as far and done that. And in here there is a swatch of material, so it's pretty good. And obviously there's the poster. So imports. Let's put that in that. So imports or official bootlegs, if you want to call them. I used to refer them to as official bootlegs because they were properly manufactured. That's what I call a factory pressed import. So I thought that this album now, number 2, Elvis Presley number 2, or Rock and Roll number 2, was going to be. Anyway, package come through. Nice in bubble wrap. I was scratching my head. Look at that. No. Before I even opened it, I knew right away this is not factory sealed. This is just plastic protective seal bag. You take the strip off there and you fold it and you seal it that way. I also knew right away from the quality of the cover. Now it looks really good. I gotta admit that it does look really good. However, now there's something that's supposed to be. Let's see how I get this. This year, obviously, is supposed to be centralized. It's not. Let's take a look at the spine. Look at these dentures, but it's like somebody went over it with like I don't know a saw or something, and whatever you want to call it. It looks pretty pretty naff, to be quite honest. And the back, well, you can't read that small text there. You can't read it. You almost need a magnifying glass to make out any letters. That's how bad it is. Opened it up. Now. It's just matte paper. Matte card paper. No gloss to it. No shine. Nothing. Just normal card. Now, I do know you get CDs with card covers, but the quality is still different. So that's just matte paper for starts. Matte card, whatever you want to call it. Take the disc out and you got that. Well, that's not even centralized, for crying out loud. You know what I mean, like. On the disc, well, this is definitely a CDR. In here, you've got your 80, you got your D3, and you got your MOBDFR, which is reversed. You can also tell as well, it's not full on silver. There is a certain angles, blue little tint to it, like a yellowy goldish tint. And this year, it's a textured CD. So this is just a CDR that's been printed on. That's not factory pressed. Also, as well, the colouring they've tried to replicate it. They've used side 1 for the start, and they've only put the track listings for side 1. So they've just used side 1 of the label. They've adjusted, obviously, certain things as well to make it look good. And it is a good design, I'll give it that. But still very poor at the same time, quality-wise. In fact, rock and roll is very, very much on the line there. So yeah, not very good as far as I'm concerned. So I said to my wife, I said, right, that's going back. I'm not very happy with that. Contact the seller. At first, I thought, you know what, maybe, because I look at what the seller, had for sale, all those other items on eBay. And he did have original CDs and what have you. So at first I thought, maybe he didn't know, or maybe he wasn't aware that obviously that this is a copy. That's what it is, a plain homemade copy. A bad one at that. Well, just in my personal opinion, because of how picky that I am. I'm a very picky person. So I thought maybe, he didn't really know about it or what have you. Maybe it's something he thought because he's had a bunch of CDs for sale. Maybe he thought that that's how it was. When my wife pointed things out to him, got back and he kind of reminds me of a 12-year-old boy throwing his toys out at the prom, or a 12-year-old being told off in school because somebody else took his pencil. That's kind of how the response, reminded me of. Apparently, it is a factory press CD. I have loads of them. It's not a CDR, it's not a copy. Don't buy anything off me again, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, are you for real? When Kelly, my wife, when she told me that, I was like, oh, no, no chance. And I was going to directly do a message through eBay, but I didn't bother. Anyway, the refund went through and stuff. And I was clearing things out, and I come across the wrap, and I'm only going to show you this side. And I come across the address and the name of the sender. So I went straight back to Marketplace just to do some digging. I found out it was the same person. So I then decided, after the way that he got very shirty like a 12-year-old kid with my wife, I thought, let's educate you a little bit, yeah? To me, saying that this is a factory press CD, etc., etc., you haven't got a clue what you're on about. But at the same time, it showed that the person was trying to say that they know it's a factory press CD when it's not. The worst thing, if any of you have seen all my other videos, you would know, due to what I do and the quality that I do things in, that's the worst thing anybody can turn around and say to myself or my wife, because I won't hold back. Now, if I didn't know any better, if I was a fan who was just getting into Elvis, didn't really know much about, copies or bootlegs or homemade CDs, didn't have the knowledge to do the homemade CDs and so forth. If I didn't know any of that, I probably would have got fooled. Because there are fans, and I've helped many fans out. Many fans have shown me things, well, that's not right. And I've, out of the goodness out of my heart, I've sent them an original. It's just the way that I am. I've helped them out. Or I've done them a better copy. No charge. I've just done it from the goodness out of my heart. Because I don't like it when people get mugged or ripped off. So to try to pull a blind eye with me, or pull the wool over my eyes, no chance. So yeah, I sent the person a very lengthy message. And I think I ended it with, said not to buy off you ever again. You don't have any issues with that one, Don't worry about that, because I won't be. But yeah, and this is the thing, and I see it quite a lot, especially recently. I mean, I know there's a lot of people who are selling CDRs on eBay. There are some laws with some things are exempt and whatever like that. But what I can credit, I mean, I don't condone it, but what I can credit them on is that they've stated, many people have stated that they are on a CDR. They're not a factory press. So people know what they're buying, So credit where credit's due, despite the fact they shouldn't be doing it. At least they've been honest about what they're selling. And like I said, I was willing to let it all pass by, but I feel it's important to do a video like this to make people aware. But the thing is, with Elvis, there is so much going out there. You never know what's being put out. It's crazy. Now, so I didn't replicate this for myself because it's the same track listing as the US album when it came out. As I explained and as I've shown, this is the original CD. However, I did use the artwork, like I said, for this CD. This is a live concert that was recorded, but I thought the album was cool. Now, I just did this pretty basic, because I've got this on an original disc, and I've burned it onto here, doing a separate copy, because I'm putting my albums on CD in, I'm going to put it, it's a chronological, they're being put in chronological order. So anything that I may have, like my A Boy from Tupelo box set, even though I've got the original in its big with a book and everything, I've also done myself a backup copy of that, and I've put it into a case, like a 4-week, 5-week case, whatever it is. Put that first in my CD collection, and then put everything on. Anyway, I'll come to my chronological collection at some point. So I put this in between where this concert was done and the release of the albums. So I've still used the front cover, which is pretty cool. Now, like I said, if the CD that I bought turned out to be, an import, in my mind it was like, okay, Volume 2 had been put out, Volume 1 is going to be put out somewhere. And it makes more sense for Volume 1 to get put out on CD because when Volume 1, because I'm going to show you the replica that I made of this album in a minute. I'll show you what a good one is. So this is the first album. When it got released over here, it was released on the HMV label. And to anyone who would possibly see it who didn't know, you might think the albums are the same. Now, in hindsight they are, but really they're not. If you look at the track listing on this version, on the HMV version, and look at the track listing out of the standard one that you'll buy today on CD, like this is Elvis's first album on CD. This is how it came out in America. This is how you buy it on CD everywhere. All the CD releases, all the CD releases have the same track listing. Or if you've got like a reissue on CD, they'll have bonus tracks and added tracks and so forth. But this is the original 12-track album as it got released in America. So this is like your standard CD, but obviously this is it. Okay. So that's the American track listing. But the track listing on here is different. So again, this is my original 12-inch. And like with number 2, I've also got the 10-inch limited edition as well, which plays at 33. And again, all the same track listing as it should be. Now, because of that, I thought, well, that's worth it replicating onto CD because the track listing is different. So, as a collector and a fan, I want both versions. So here's my replication. Here's my take on it. There are some slight differences because that's how I chose to do it. That's my choice. And my interpretation of my own choice for the back cover. Now, the back cover, the way that I've done the CD, is not like the vinyl. Hang on a minute, I'm not finished. So I've taken that from the back of the cover. Okay. And obviously the HMV logo. Added copyrights. I did decide to add a barcode only because the original CD for the American version had a barcode. Even my spine, look at that. Even done the spine. Oh, it's blimmin' light, I tell you. So even I don't know how I'll show on there because it's showing differently. Even the font is again the same as the back. And the catalog number, CLP 1093. Replication of the logo, the HMV, His Master's Voice. Now, as I said, the back is not a replica of this. But if I turn and open the CD, that is. And you can read the writing clear as day. It's nice and bold. And you can make it all out tidy on the CD. Lovely, lovely shine to that as well. Full on silvery. No gold layers or anything like that. Why? Because I buy proper, full on quality stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong. I do use the same CDs as whoever put this together. I mean, I'm not saying, the guy who sold it me did. But he definitely knew it was a CDR. That's for sure by his attitude and everything else. I do use these CDs. In fact, I used it on that one. That's really good because, I just kept this very, very basic. And this CD design is based on a design that I've seen on an American CD release. Very basic. But for this, I decided to use... Now, look at the difference as well on the... on that compared to the other one that I showed you. Why is it a dark color? Because the other one was pretty light, right? I'll show you the reasons why now. Why have I closed this case for? It's a darker red because that is how the original is with the gold lettering. So I decided that I would do the same. Now I did do something a little different because CD format, I put side 1 and 2 instead of just side 1, and I've just put the track listings. So yeah, that's how it should be. So, I mean, Rock and Roll Volume 1 came out, obviously, like I just showed you on the HMV label. RCA didn't put it out until 1972 when we got this reissue of it. It's the first time it was put out on RCA with the UK track listing. Now, besides collectors are concerned, obviously, there are collectors who obviously imported it from different countries all over the world because it was released in many countries with the same track listing as the US. The UK, however, didn't really get a distribution until 1983, till this one came out. The back cover is a little different, but this is the first time it came out with the American track listing. In Europe and the UK. Now I'm going to read you the differences, because that's the other thing as well. You're going to be asking what the differences are. So I'm going to read to you first. Let's read to you the American edition, okay? So the American track listing is Blue Suede Side 1. Blue Suede Shoes, I'm Counting on You, I Got a Woman, Once They Did Love Affair, I Love You Because, Just Because. And then side 2, you've got Tutti Frutti, Trying to Get to You, I'm Gonna Sit Right Down and Cry Over You, I'll Never Let You Go, Little Darling, Blue Moon, and Money Honey. The UK track listing. Side 1, Blue Suede Shoes, I Got a Woman, I'm Counting on You, I'm Left, You're Right, She's Gone, That's Alright, Money Honey. Side 2, Mystery Train, I'm Gonna Sit Right Down and Cry Over You, Trying to Get to You, Once They Did Love Affair, Lordy Miss Claudie, and Shake, Rattle and Roll. So, yeah, there are a lot of, it's different. So for me, replicating the UK edition of the first album was worth it. And justifiable. So, this one I was going to be going back. And good riddance. And just obviously a warning to all new collectors out there and new fans who are collecting. Just be very mindful about what you're buying. I mean, it's not. I mean, with postage, it comes to £8, right? But it's the principle of it. If somebody has recognized it, and this, I guess a little bit of advice for sellers out there: if you're palming something off as an original factory manufactured, CD or factory pressed and shrink wrapped and what have you. If you're passing something off as that and you get caught out about it, don't be a moron about it. Just accept that you've been caught out and take it on the chin. I mean, is it really worth it? Honestly? And morally, I mean, if somebody's looking out to buy an original, don't try to fool them. Especially the younger generation. It's a tough world out there today. And when it comes to money or finances, prices of everything are going up and up and up and up and up and up. If somebody thinks they found themselves a bargain and it's an original item, and they come back and it comes back to them and it's not an original, think about how the other person's going to feel. It's as simple as that. It's called respect, and respect these days costs nothing. So yeah. So to all the younger generation who are collecting Elvis, just be a bit mindful and be a bit careful. And always double check with what has been released. Even imports, there are plenty of websites such as the Elvis Australian Information Network is fantastic for information about what gets put out as an import. There are Facebook groups with many, many, many big collectors out there who will help you along the way. And I know many of them. And they've all been great guys and great collectors. They'll give you the best advice. There are books even about what's been put out previous regarding imports and FTDs and official releases. So just be a little bit careful and yeah, just be careful. So I think that concludes my video now for today, and I will be doing another video soon. And yes, I will be doing more Elvis videos. To those of you who have emailed me about things regarding my Elvis collection, don't you panic. I'm not going off Elvis. I'm not giving up collecting Elvis or anything like that. Yes, I've sold a few bits, mine recently of Elvis, because I'm downsizing, but I'm not at the same time. I'm having like a bit of a sort out of what I need, what I want, what I don't want, what I don't need. If that makes sense. Anyway, until the next time, guys, I hope every one of you take care, keep well, keep safe. God bless you. Thank you.